Hello and welcome. I'm Tracey Sliker, and we're here with my husband, Dave Sliker. You know him well, I'm sure. But I had a chance to get a camera today and invite you guys in while I got to talk about Dave's new book, Triumph of Beauty. You guys, this book is awesome. I mean, I'm the wife. I kind of maybe have to say that, but I also don't have to say that, if you know what I mean. Dave's written a lot of things over the years, but I'm very excited about this book. I've had it now for a little while. It came early to the house. We posted a little reveal video online, and I've been reading it, and I've actually woken up the last few mornings energized and like I feel convicted, like
wow.
There's treasure in this book and I need to know what it says. And sometimes people say to me, it must be so cool to like have Dave Sliker at your house. And the truth is, like, when we eat spaghetti and hang out with the kids, I don't get to uncover the treasures in the way that Dave takes time to build it out in a book or in a teaching, in a sermon. So there's this whole realm of my husband's heart in the Lord that I just love to hear and see when I read through his book, his different books in the past, but this is something special. This one's something new. And I just wanted to interview him for a second and have you kind of like, just tell us like what was in your heart before you wrote the book, and as it came out, like how are you feeling about this perspective and this heart for the Lord and for Jesus? Like, I just want to hear what you have to say. Like, what was in your heart?
Yeah, it's similar to The Nation's Rage in that I was writing about things that I didn't know were going to be happening weeks after I sent in the manuscript.
Yeah.
When I sent in the manuscript for Nation's Rage, a few weeks later, the pandemic hits, and I went, this is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't understand why I was writing some of the things until the pandemic hit.
I remember during The Nation's Rage when you were writing it, you're like, this is weird stuff. I don't even know if anyone's going to want to read it.
Right, right.
Why would people care about this? And suddenly, after you've completed the book, people care.
Exactly. And in this one, it's the same thing. I was stirred to write about the beauty of the church and where the Lord is taking the church in the days to come, which means where He's taking us. And the fun part about that is I felt permission from the Lord to finally write stuff from Song of Solomon that I've been longing to write for a long time. So that's when I say this is probably my favorite book. It's because I'm serving with what I know in the other books I've written, but this one I got to write what makes my heart move. And so, but the thing that really blesses me is that my heart moves because you and I and thousands of others, we pray for the church many times a day, every day in our prayer room. And so to me, this is 20 years of praying for the church. My heart feels alive, aligned with the Lord a little bit, with His heart for the church. And that's what I want to invite others into, is that as things get darker related to the world's opinion of the church and attacks against the church, it's more important than ever to align with the Lord's joy and delight over the church, even in her weakness. I feel like we complain a ton. I feel like we gripe a ton and wish the church was different. And that's not how Jesus thinks when He views the church. Yeah. And I want to get on His team.
Yeah, it's like for years I've read the Word and then the heart of Jesus for the church, and then I look at who we are and the condition of the church, I mean, particularly in America, and I see that chasm and I think, Jesus, how will you do this? And when I read your book, it's like I both feel hope, I feel fuel for my prayer life. Like, it's way different to pray with real hope. And then I also, on a personal way, I feel this sense of like renewed identity and permission to just that He's going to do it in me, and I'm made for this, and I'm made for this. And sometimes the darkness of this particular season of history, it even personally just feels overwhelming, and I'm just exploring what you've developed, what you've taken time to develop, and it's powerful. The author is secondary. It's Jesus in this book. I mean, you've done a great job, and I don't want to be, I'm the wife, so I love you no matter whether you write books or not. But this is like, it puts the beauty of Jesus just on display in a unique way. And I mean, after years I've sat under so many excellent messages, but this is just tying a bow on truths, and I'm so grateful. It's unlocking my heart. And I feel a sense of personal excitement to say to our friends and to say to anyone who sees this video, like, just get it and get out your highlighter and sit with the book and just ask Jesus to speak to you. Thank you so much for the years of diligence of going there in the Word and in prayer. Anything else you just want to tell us?
Well, I would say that you said it the other day. You said, I don't hear you preach on this a lot.
That's true.
And from a pulpit on Sundays or in churches, this isn't a message that I've preached a lot. It's a message I've studied and developed in my private life with the Lord. It's a message that I do a little bit in my Song of Solomon course with Danny Candler. But yeah, this is something that you're not necessarily going to have heard me say, but is very dear to my heart. I want to encourage you. Thank you. I love that you love it, not just because you love me.
I mean, I've
it's
loved
really
all
powerful.
your books, but it is. It's like I have heard you preach, but not about this message. So I'm reading it, and I feel like, even as the wife, like, this is a window into your heart, your life in God. That I don't even know if you could ever do it justice just in a sermon. I mean, like in a class, maybe taking weeks, but the way you've taken time with it. And I can read the sentences over and over again. It's different than listening to a sermon. You can just read it again and again and put it down, go to sleep, wake up, and go, I got to see that again. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, you've read a lot of things I've written.
I'm being
You've
a little
never
more
been
gushy.
like this.
Yeah.
Never. So that's huge to me. So I want to encourage you. Thank you for joining us for this kind of special behind the scenes look at the book, just for you guys. We so appreciate you. We appreciate you locking in with us.
Yeah.
If you're viewing this video, you're likely already connected to davidsliker.com, where you can find out more about Triumph of Beauty and other resources that we have to offer. But if you're not, davidsliker.com, tell your friends. And of course, you can order there. It's really easy. It'll take you to Amazon. That's my preferred way for you to order for now. But you can get it directly from Baker Books, or you can get it from Foreigner Books right here in Kansas City. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tracey.
Love you.
Good to be with you all.
Good work.